Well, you and I wait to see what's in the budget. If it does go ahead tomorrow, the South African National Taxi Council, SANTACO, asking government to give it a proper subsidy. Daki Qumbu is the Secretary-General of SANTACO. Daki, good morning to you, and thank you so much for your time this morning. As I understand it, there's a sort of mini-subsidy for the taxi industry. I mean, it's tiny. It's the taxi recapitalisation program. It's about 1% of the transport subsidies that government does. Why do you believe you should get a proper subsidy, something more substantial?
Okay, thank you so much, Stephen, and the listeners. Indeed, the taxi industry, we believe it deserves much more in terms of subsidy. You should remember that the taxi industry is the backbone of the public transport in this country. But it is totally unfairly treated compared to other modes. The public must also remember that as the taxi industry, we are competing with other modes of transport. Yet the treatment is not the same. Ever since the formation of SANTACO in the year 2001, there's been an undertaking and an engagement with the department to make sure that this backbone of the public transport, the taxi industry, is being subsidized. So many promises. Fast forward to the year 2020. When we had our national taxi Lekgotla with the department, and so civic society members were also there, there was a resolution that it was about time that the industry, the taxi industry, be subsidized. And the then Minister of Transport, by the way, Mr. Mbalula, made a declaration to say, come April the 1st, 2021, the taxi industry will be subsidized. This National Taxi Lekgotla was held in October 2020. Okay. And he said April 2021, it will be subsidized. But we are shocked. As you correctly indicated now, when we come to statistics and percentages, the taxi industry is just enjoying 1% of the public transport funding in this country by our government, and it comes as TRP.
Can I ask, okay, I understand promises matter, and if people made promises to you, they should keep those promises. But your industry makes money. The people who own taxis make money. The other bits of transport that government subsidizes don't make money, and they're actually designed to be loss-making. That happens around the world. Many bus services lose money. They're a public good. Right, that's the logic behind it. Now, sure, your industry is a public good too in many cases, but your operators make money. So if they're making a profit, why should there be a subsidy?
Yeah, Stephen, indeed, it's very easy to say we are making money, the taxi industry, but we should recall that we are competing in a public space in terms of people that will assist us to generate some income for our families. You must remember, as the taxi industry, we are also a mass employer. We are employing quite a number of people in this country, and we are making differences. So those people must also earn a living.
That doesn't answer the question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. I'm being very rude to you. But that doesn't answer the question. If the industry is making money, why should it get a subsidy?
Yes, the industry is making money, but what kind of money is that? Is it enough for a living for the people that depend on the taxi industry? Because we cater for the poorest of the poor here. We're speaking of a bare minimal work that people must do, and people are struggling. Ever since the COVID, it has been very difficult for the taxi industry to recover. There's no money. I can tell you, if we give you statistics of repossessions that are taking place, people are no longer able to buy vehicles or to keep the installments. Therefore, many families are suffering. And we believe it is the right of the taxi industry to receive this subsidy, just like other modes of transport. Okay. Hence, we say, indeed, it's about time that the minister, we are hopeful that the minister in his budget speech tomorrow will also include the taxi industry in the public subsidy regime.
So I think the other problem you may have, Daki, is that your industry does not have public trust. In that, I think if we had to ask South Africans, should their money go to the taxi industry, or more of their money go to the taxi industry, I think many of them would say, well, this is an industry that uses violence. This is an industry I'm scared of. Yes, you transport millions of people to and from work every day. In most cases, you do that safely. The thing is, though, that I think your industry has a terrible name, sir. And I mean, you know this. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, because you use violence. You use violence against people who are giving lifts to their friends. We see it all the time. Bluntly, and I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I don't know if people trust you with government money. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Stephen, for bringing that.
Unfortunately, just getting to the real nub of the issue, I suspect. We'll see if we can get Daki Qumbu, the Secretary General of the South African National Taxi Council, back to you, because I think it is an important story, and we do want to continue that debate. All right, I understand that we're back now. Mr. Qumbu, good morning again. Sorry about the interruption. I just asked you the question about the fact that the public doesn't trust you, and you were just about to respond.
Yes, definitely. I'm saying the public, our image is dented, but we must remember what dents our image. It's pockets of people that do not abide by the rules of this business. It is pockets of people that want to claim they are taxi people and not. And where they are indeed taxi people, we are acting because we are aware that our image is dented. We are aware that we have to bring a totally different brand to the public. We are working day and night to ensure that we make sure that the name and the dignity of the people is always put first, and the safety of the people is put first. We make sure that we have what we call Operation Hlokomela, which is our tool to ensure that people are safe and people arrive home safely and to their work safely, and to make sure that we professionalize the industry. In the National Taxi Lekgotla that I referred to earlier, that is where we took these resolutions, and we are implementing as we speak. Slowly but surely, the image is changing, and people can see the value of using our taxis and the standard of our taxis also. Hence, we say, with the subsidy, we'll make sure that the few vehicles that are old, that are on our roads, before you speak about them, I should be upfront to say we are aware there are those vehicles that are really old, that are not supposed to be on the road. But we say without the subsidy, we are getting nowhere. The TRP, the 1% that we are talking about, is just not enough, Stephen, on this matter.
All right. So Daki, I mean, you and I can have the usual traditional argument that the media has with the taxi industry. I don't know if that'll take us any further. But I've heard what you say. I will leave it to each viewer to make up their own mind as to whether they believe you that the taxi industry wants to improve. Let me just put another issue to you. The taxi industry uses cash. If the government came to you and said, we will give you a subsidy and you will no longer use cash, you will have to use a tap and go, we'll have a cheap tap and go system where people can tap their bank cards or something, or their phones. Would you accept that in return for a subsidy, or would you insist on staying with cash?
Definitely, Stephen, indeed, we would do that. Actually, we have already started on that. It will be piloted very soon. The process has been taking very long for us to ensure that we are going cashless and we are up to date with the times. Indeed, that is already about to happen in the taxi industry. People are already working on it, and that is the way to go. We cannot be left behind as the taxi industry. We are prepared, and we know that the department or government can put that as a condition, as it has been putting conditions even previously to say we can only give you subsidy if you do 1, 2, 3. You do that, still there is no subsidy as we speak today.
Daki Qumbu, thank you very much indeed. The Secretary General of the South African National Taxi Council. All right, well, let's get another update for you from Ekurhuleni.